Prohibition and the war on drugs. Two significant periods in history that share a strikingly similar narrative. Both were driven by a desire to eliminate substances deemed harmful to society. However, the outcomes of these efforts have been far from what was intended. Two eras, one common mistake. The 1920s saw the United States embark on an ambitious mission to ban alcohol, believing it would lead to a healthier, more moral society. Fast forward to the late 20th century, and the war on drugs was launched with similar intentions, aiming to eradicate drug use and its associated problems. When alcohol was banned in the 1920s, it didn't disappear. Instead, it went underground, giving rise to speakeasies and hidden distilleries. These clandestine operations flourished as people found ways to circumvent the law and continue their consumption. This underground market created criminal empires and fueled social unrest. Figures like Al Capone became infamous as organized crime took control of the alcohol trade. Violence and corruption spread, undermining the very fabric of society. The intended moral upliftment was replaced by a surge in criminal activity. Fast forward to the war on drugs. Decades later, history repeated itself. The crackdown on drugs pushed substance use into the shadows, much like alcohol during Prohibition. The black market for drugs expanded, and with it, drug-related crimes. Cartels and gangs took over the trade, leading to a spike in violence and illegal activities. The war intended to make society safer instead made it more dangerous. The parallels are undeniable. Canada, observing the failures of Prohibition and the war on drugs, chose to approach the issue from a different angle. However, the results have been disastrous. Instead of criminalizing, they chose to decriminalize and regulate, aiming to reduce harm rather than punish users. Safe injection sites were established and cannabis was legalized and regulated. But the focus on harm reduction has not been without its challenges. Despite these efforts, Canada has faced a severe overdose crisis. The number of drug-related deaths has continued to rise, highlighting the limitations of harm reduction strategies. Overdoses and the spread of diseases remain significant issues in major Canadian cities like Vancouver and Toronto. The cycle is clear. Outright bans fuel crime, creating a vicious circle of enforcement and evasion. Regulation can reduce the black market and bring safer options, but it's not a cure-all. While the government benefits from tax revenue, real change means focusing on people who need help the most. Maybe it's time to look back at Prohibition and learn. Control through compassion, not fear. Prohibition failed, and the regulation of drugs seems to be following the same path. The rise in crime, the social unrest. Has history taught us nothing? The lessons are there, waiting to be heeded. We must analyze and understand these patterns to avoid repeating them. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If this video resonates, please don't forget to like and subscribe.